Hello, and welcome back to Sound of, where we dive deep into the music that moves us, shapes our world, and tells the stories we need to hear. I'm your host, Danny, and today we're exploring an album that is not just a collection of songs, but rather a window into the psyche of a young man who longs for inclusion. The motion picture soundtrack of Dear Evan Hansen. Dear Evan Hansen, of course, was written by Stephen Levinson with music and lyrics by Benj Pasek and Justin Paul. Levinson wrote the book for the musical, while Pasek and Paul, known collectively as Pasek and Paul, contributed the musical's score and songs. This collaboration brought to life a deeply emotional and insightful story that has resonated with audiences around the world, including me, earning it critical acclaim and numerous awards, including the Tony Award for Best Musical. Now, before we get into the heart of this episode, I want to share a bit about how I stumbled upon Dear Evan Hansen. You might find this a trite bit amusing, but my introduction to this emotional powerhouse of a soundtrack came from a seemingly unlikely source. A tweet. Now, scoff if you must, but it wasn't just any tweet, mind you. It was one playfully critiquing, at least I hope it was playful, about how old Ben Platt looked in the film adaptation. Of course, Ben Platt originated the role for the Broadway musical, but for the film, it was suggested or that they used CGI to either de-age him or to make him look younger. Of course, this piqued my interest, and I decided to watch the movie for myself, fully prepared to scrutinize every frame for signs of this digital youth. I would push pause, play, pause, play. But as the film unfolded, something remarkable happened. The story's raw emotion, the depth of the characters, and most notably, Ben Platt's breathtaking performance swept me away. From the opening number, Waving Through a Window, to the emotionally charged Words Fail, all that criticism about looking old, that was forgotten. What mattered was the authenticity and heart that he brought to every scene and every note. And now by the end of the film, I realized that Dear Evan Hansen was more than just a tweet, more than just a movie. It was a testament to the struggles we all face in seeking connection, understanding, and acceptance. The soundtrack in particular became a companion through its journeys, echoing the highs and lows of the human experience. So whether you've seen the Broadway show, watched the movie, or are hearing about Dear Evan Hansen for the first time, right here, join me as we delve into a soundtrack that captures the essence of longing, the pain of isolation, and the hope that comes from being found. Together, we'll discover how Dear Evan Hansen speaks to the part of us that's waving through a window and longing to be seen. Now, if you didn't already know, Dear Evan Hansen tells the story of a high school senior, Evan Hansen, grappling with social anxiety and a desperate longing to belong. At the heart of this narrative is a tragic misunderstanding that propels Evan into a complex web of lies, ultimately challenging him to confront the very essence of his identity, relationships, and the repercussions of his actions. The catalyst for the story is a letter, a therapeutic exercise suggested by Evan's therapist that was never meant to be seen by anyone else. However, when the letter is discovered by the family of Connor Murphy, a troubled classmate who takes his own life, it's mistakenly believed to have been Connor's last message to Evan. And instead of debunking the notion right from the get-go, Evan becomes entangled in a lie that brings him close to the Connor's family, providing him solace, but also fabricating a friendship that never existed. As Evan's falsehoods deepen, he finds temporary fame and a sense of belonging he's always craved, even attracting the attention of his longtime crush, Zoe Murphy, Connor's sister. Yet, this facade that he's built as it begins to crumble, which, as a viewer, I was always kind of waiting for that shoe to drop, it threatens the fragile connections that he's made. Evan is forced to reckon with the consequences of his deceit, the reality of grief, and the quest for authenticity in an interconnected world that often feels isolating. Dear Evan Hansen is a reflection on modern adolescence, the profound impact of social media, which to this day I'm still very thankful that I didn't have during my adolescence, and the universal quest for acceptance. It's a story that resonates deeply with anyone who's ever felt alone, misunderstood, or on the fringe, highlighting the importance of genuine human connection and the courage it takes to reach out and be seen for who we truly are. Through its compelling plot and emotionally charged soundtrack, Dear Evan Hansen challenges us to look beyond the surface, to understand the complexities of mental health, and to remember that everyone has a story that deserves to be heard. It's a narrative that not only entertains, but also educates, empathizes, and inspires, making it a seminal work in both musical theater and film. Now, as we venture into the heart of Dear Evan Hansen, each song unfolds a layer of the emotional tapestry that defines the musical. The tracks resonate with anyone who's ever felt on the outskirts, yearning for a sense of belonging. Now, let's explore For Forever. So I can't help but feel that this song is a heart-wrenching look into the world of what ifs and what might have beens. It's where Evan, through vivid storytelling, paints this day he supposedly spent with Connor Murphy. It's a day filled with laughter and connection, except it's all a fabrication. Yet the way Evan tells it makes you wish that deep down that it was, that it was really real. To me, what stands out isn't just Devon's deep-seated longing to connect or to be a part of something memorable. It's more about this heavy burden that he carries, the dilemma of not wanting to disappoint Connor's family. He gets entangled in this web of lies, but I think it's important to note that I don't think his intentions were selfish. Evan steps into this narrative because he sees the Murphy family in pain, desperately seeking any connection to their son, any memory to cling to, and he didn't want to let them down. Ben Platt's performance of For Forever is nothing short of breathtaking. You can feel every nuance of Evan's emotions, the fleeting moments of happiness from the fictional memories, the weight of continuing the lie, and that underlying fear of causing more hurt to a family already in sorrow. Platt's delivery makes you feel the tightrope Evan is walking on, balancing between the yearning for acceptance and the dread of inflicting more pain. I think For Forever shines a light on that very complex aspect of human nature. Now, it's not just a song about loneliness or the desire for companionship. It's a deeper dive into why someone might keep up a facade. To me, it's clear that Evan's actions are heavily influenced by his compassion and his unwillingness to break the fragile hope of a grieving family holding onto a version of their son that he helps perpetuate. Within the larger story of Dear Evan Hansen, I feel For Forever highlights Evan's inner conflict beautifully. It's a powerful reminder of the intricate reasons behind our actions, especially when we find ourselves torn between our need for connection and the fear of adding to someone else's grief. As we dissect this track, let's remember that it's Evan's concern for not wanting to disappoint or hurt the Murphy family that's at the forefront of his decisions. For Forever is a narrative that speaks volumes about the lengths we go to protect others, even if it means getting lost in our own constructed realities. Continuing on with the idea of protecting others, one track stands out at the crescendo of vulnerability and truth, and that is Words Fail. Words Fail marks a critical crossroad in the narrative, where Evan, feeling the full weight of his fabricated reality, confronts the consequences of a lie that spiraled out of control. This song is a powerful admission of Evan's deepest fears and insecurities. The song delves into the complexity of human emotions, exploring the inner turmoil between the longing for acceptance and the moral obligation to be truthful. Which shoulder angel would you listen to? I kind of think I know which one I would, but how about you, listeners? Which shoulder angel would you listen to? The song captures the harrowing moment of reckoning. I was on the edge of my seat, and it was painful to watch, knowing that Evan must face the people he's deceived, fully aware that his confession will most likely shatter the very sense of belonging that he so desperately sought. For listeners, Words Fail transcends the confines of the musical, becoming an anthem for anyone who's grappled with their identity or struggled to fit in. It articulates the courage it takes to embrace one's flaws and confront the truth, despite the potential fallout. Something that is very, very difficult to do. This track is a testament to the transformative power of honesty and the first step towards healing and genuine connection, though. Now, of course, directly following Words Fail in our journey through the emotional landscape of Dear Evan Hansen, and also the next song in the film, we encounter Julianne Moore's performance of So Big, So Small, a number that stands out for its emotional depth and the sheer force of maternal love it conveys. I think I listened to So Big, So Small a couple times through my phone after watching the film, and I didn't really click with it the first time through. It became more powerful to me each time I listened to it. It was of course, because it comes at a moment in the musical where Evan's mother, played by Julianne Moore, reflects on the challenges of being a single parent and the immense love that she has for her son despite the hardships they face together. And it's in that moment of vulnerability and strength which Moore encapsulates perfectly. With each lyric, she communicates a mix of pain, inadequacy, and overwhelming love, painting a vivid picture of a mother's resolve in the face of life's unpredictabilities. So Big, So Small touches on themes of abandonment and resilience as Evan's mother recounts the moment that Evan's father left them. It's a narrative shared by many, yet it's rendered unique through Moore's emotional authenticity. Listeners can't help but empathize with her character's journey, feeling the weight of her words and the magnitude of her love. You can really tell in her performance that she gets it, that she feels it, and she makes damn sure that listeners will as well. This track stands as a testament to the power of Dear Evan Hansen to explore complex emotional terrain, including the sacrifices and unconditional love inherent in parenthood. Moore's performance is a heart-rending reminder of the often unsung trials and triumphs of single mothers, showcasing their incredible capacity for love, even in the face of personal trauma. So Big, So Small reminds us of the soundtrack's ability to delve into deeply personal, yet universally relatable themes. Moore's number is a masterclass in storytelling through song, inviting listeners into an intimate moment of reflection on family, love, and the fears and hopes that come with raising a child. It's a performance that resonates long after the music fades, highlighting the enduring bond between parent and child and the expansive nature of love, capable of overcoming even the most daunting obstacles. As we draw closer to the conclusion of our exploration of Dear Evan Hansen, we delve into the introspective and resonating track, The Anonymous Ones. This song uniquely captures the essence of the musical's core message, which is, I feel, that universal struggle that we all share, hidden pains and the silent battles that many of us face beneath the surface. The Anonymous Ones is beautifully crafted to convey the idea that, despite our unique experiences, the underlying emotions and challenges we face are often shared. The lyrics serve as a gentle reminder that everyone around us might be going through something, even if they're adept at concealing it. It speaks directly to those who feel isolated in their struggles, encouraging a sense of empathy and understanding in the listener. This song stands out especially because of its message that those who seem to have it all together, the anonymous ones, are often fighting their own internal battles, quietly wrestling with insecurities, doubts, and fears that they believe are theirs to bear alone. The power of the anonymous ones lies in its ability to illuminate the commonality of these experiences, breaking down the barriers of isolation by highlighting that in our vulnerabilities, we find our shared humanity. The track is a call to look beyond the surface, to recognize and to reach out to the anonymous ones among us. It underscores the importance of opening up, sharing our stories, and finding solace in the fact that understanding and support are within reach if only we dare to seek them. Now, by including the anonymous ones in our journey through the soundtrack, we're invited to reflect on the significance of visibility and support for those who feel unnoticed. It's a moving reminder that in acknowledging our own struggles and those of others, we can forge connections that transcend our individual experiences, fostering a community of empathy and acceptance. As we wrap up this episode, let the anonymous ones inspire us to look a little deeper at those around us, to offer a hand or a listening ear, and to remember that in the end, we're all navigating this complex journey of life together. It's a beautiful, unifying message that resonates deeply, especially in times when understanding and compassion are needed most. As we end our exploration, I'm left reflecting on the profound impact this story and its music continue to have on me, and likely on many of you as well. Each viewing, each listen, peels back another layer, revealing deeper insights and emotions tied to Evan's journey, a journey from the brink of despair to the hopeful glimmer of connection and understanding. Dear Evan Hansen does more than just tell a story. It holds up a mirror to the complexities of our internal worlds, the struggles we often face alone, and the power of reaching out, of making that daunting step towards genuine, meaningful relationships. Evan's evolution from a young man consumed by his isolation and a plan to end his suffering, to someone who learns the value of authenticity and the strength found in community is not just remarkable, it's a beacon of hope for anyone who's ever lost in the shadows. I, too, count myself among the anonymous ones, those of us who navigate our days beneath a veneer of composure, silently wrestling with our doubts and fears, believing our burdens are ours alone to bear. Yet through Dear Evan Hansen, we're reminded that the path to healing, to forging real connections, begins with that courage to be seen, truly seen, for who we are. Not just who we think other people want us to be. This soundtrack, with its heartfelt melodies and poignant lyrics, is a reminder that none of us need to be alone in our struggles. It encourages us to step out of the anonymity, to share our stories, and to find solace in the shared experience of being human. It teaches us that growth, however challenging it may be, is possible, and that the first step towards change is often through the simple act of reaching out. Don't be afraid to reach out. Even if it's just to me, I'll do my best to lend an ear. Find me on the social medias. Find me anywhere you hear this. Reach out. So in closing, let's let Dear Evan Hansen serve as a catalyst for our own journeys towards self-acceptance and connection. May we all find the strength to break free from our anonymity, to seek and offer support, to embrace the beauty of genuine friendships. And as we continue to navigate the ups and downs of life, let us do so with the knowledge that we are not alone, that our stories matter, and that together we can find our way through the darkness. So thank you for joining me in this deeply personal exploration of Sound of Dear Evan Hansen. Until next time, keep listening, keep feeling, and remember, you will be found.